All right, you guys, welcome to Cousin podcast. I'm Mara.
And I'm Jordan.
And today we are going to start the kickoff to our season 2.
Yay! Finally. And we're on camera. That was like our big thing. We really wanted to be on camera, guys. So here we are.
We made it. We made it, and we're excited to have everyone start to tune in via camera.
Yes. So I feel like we have to kick it off with our old faithful. We're doing a little bit of a spin on it this season. So it's either your ick of the week or something that you find interesting that happened this week. So I'm going to let you kick us off.
Yeah, like an ick or fact. And I think just because we are starting back at potting, I'm going to stick to the ick because that's what you guys know. And my ick of the week is actually going to be the fact that summer is coming. And with summer coming out here in Houston, you have to be mindful of the mosquitoes that are going to start to pop out. And the fact that I've already been ate up on my walk earlier today. And so I'm just over it and I'm just shading the weather down south right now.
Yeah, the mosquitoes are like another level,
They're
honestly. And
vicious.
that was when I first moved to Houston. I actually cried because I just was not used to the bugs, the wildlife, the lizards, the frogs, like you name it. It's just
The lizards and frogs is very valid too. I will just be walking and see frogs and lizards just running along the street. So,
it's
yeah,
crazy. Yeah, I'm not used to that. Colorado does not have, believe it or not, I've never even seen like a roach in Colorado. So for me, it was like another
yeah,
level.
yeah. And I
Um,
recently learned, I'm sorry, that
no,
roaches, they actually have like in a shell. So once they feel like they're under attack, you have to hit them or stomp on them a couple of times before they can die. And in addition to that, I also learned that if you kill a roach, they actually have like a poisonous scent that comes out of them. Yeah, it was a deep dive that I had with one of my friends, and they're just talking about roaches. And I learned that, and I was like, that's disgusting. So, yeah,
Yeah, that is crazy. And also there's like flying roaches out in Houston. It's rough out there.
yeah. I mean, they did label Houston like the roachiest city in the US, which was super uncomfortable living here, but
Yeah,
apparently we
it's
got
very
them.
reasonable for sure. Um, trying to decide if I want to give an ick or if I want to do something interesting. I think I'm gonna do something interesting. So, when it's kind of like a ick and a interesting fact, but when like you eat something, usually it's for me, it's pizza, and it burns the roof of your mouth. And so then like after that, it just messes up everything you eat for the rest of the day. But
Mhm.
did you know that your mouth is the fastest, like, regenerating part of your body or whatever? Like, it heals itself the quickest. So I think that's, like, a cool, interesting fact. So thankfully, it doesn't take forever to recover from that, but definitely
Real
it can
super.
impact in one.
I've heard that before. Like your mouth can recover the fastest. Like even like if you burn your tongue or the roof of your mouth, you like bite your lip, just whatever it is. I've heard that. I've heard that before.
Yeah. So, fun fact.
Well, I think that we should take a dive into just catching everybody up with where we've been because, as most of you guys know, if you are a reoccurring listener, there's been nothing to recurrently listen to. So we've actually been, I feel like a form of MIA. And so, first, I think it's best that we apologize to people who did tune in for season 1 and then kind of felt like we ghosted them for lack of better word choice. That was not the case. We were just navigating life. And I think if you guys could forgive us, that would be awesome because going forward, we're back in action.
Yeah, I think it's taken us a while to kind of figure out, like, this whole potting thing. I'm a perfectionist, so I'll just speak for myself when I say, like, I wanted things to be like perfect and lined up and have like a recording. So, but we're here, we're excited, and we're thankful that you guys have stuck with us. And we're hoping to have a lot more fun in season two. We'll have more guests and people that you can actually see like calling in. So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, for sure. And I think that would lead us to just our updates. So, Jordan, I don't know if you want to start or want me to go first. My updates are definitely pretty basic in comparison.
Yeah,
um,
like should I address the elephant in the room as to why part of the reason we weren't producing episodes for a minute is because I had a baby. So,
well,
um
this will be a great time to like flash a picture of, Cam so people that are watching can see. But
I know. I wasn't prepared and I barely just started like actually posting her. I really try to live the private life for the most part. Because people are weird, but yeah, speaking of weird, we can update about the stalker situation too. But um yeah, I had a baby and so I've been really busy navigating motherhood. So hopefully on the pod I can kind of talk about motherhood, postpartum, some of those things, any questions anybody has. Definitely happy to do that. But yeah, I definitely thought I was gonna have a little boy, and then here I am with this like super silly, goofy little girl. So it's been a lot of fun.
yay. I can second it being a lot of fun just because I get to now witness Jordan being a mom and navigating going over to her house. And now there's not just Bubbles, but there's Bubbles and there's Cameron. And it's just so much fun. And it definitely adds an extra level of pizzazz to together.
Yes, for sure. I
Yeah.
think that's really all my updates. I don't have anything really crazy um, to share at this.
Yes. And for people that know, I mean, I know you said like you just recently started posting your baby, and I actually had to refrain from commenting most recently because your quote caption was like, Adventures with my Ohana. And I couldn't help but think about the Lilo and Stitch quote where they're like, Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. And I just felt for my boy for real. I really did. So I couldn't even comment without
I
people,
mean,
judging the statement because I was going to drop that Lilo and Stitch line and
yeah,
remind you guys. I feel like at the end you should have maybe put a picture of
one of those that you
Bubbles on
said.
a walk or something. Like,
Yeah, she just was dog sitting her nephew, and so she's referring to the fact that he didn't get to come on the trip. But can you imagine Bubbles on an 8-hour flight?
I can't, but I did hear that they're giving dogs like I don't know what they're called, but medication that basically allows them to sleep through flights and things. So
Believe it or
maybe
not,
I
I gave
told him
him
about that. I told him that they have medications, and they just chose not to bring you. But
no, believe it or not, he has some of that medication in the drawer, and it only works for 30 minutes on Bubbles.
yeah,
So,
he does have a little
so
bit.
yeah, it didn't last.
Yeah, I went out into the garage for 2 seconds and came back, and you would have thought he was alone for 8 hours, and it was
He's just like he likes to show his love. He's a very loving
yes, he is. He is. But we had a great time together. We really did. And
dog. Good.
Bubbles was bubbly. Yes, he did get to my Metcon, so I didn't want to press you about it
Oh.
while you were on vacation. But I think it was out of spite. Like I did have to leave him for some hours because like I went to work, whatever, but I was like working out and I left those shoes in the accessible place and
Yeah, if you leave it down, he's coming for him
so
out of
my
spite
shoestring
for
is hanging by
sure.
a thread now because he basically untied them with his mouth and
Yeah, he did a number on my Metcons as well. So
must be his favorite shoe.
yeah.
Yeah, or he knows that people want to use them. So then I tried to have a talk with him and tell him like Bubbles, like I brought the shoe to his face and I was holding him and I was like, look at this. And he was like, looking all around, and I was like, no, you can't do this. But mind you, the other shoe was on the floor. And so after I put him down, he walks over to the other shoe and starts like hitting him. I was like, no, buddy, no.
You
So
said, "Oh, you wanna play with me? You wanna leave me for
yeah,
hours?"
right. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, he did great, and it was a pleasure.
That's good. Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while, and I'm actually not in Houston either, so she had to update me on Bubbles.
Yeah, your other child.
My other child.
Yay. But update wise, yeah, I don't have any super major updates. I'm still being a super busy, quote unquote, corporate girly and working, technically working two jobs right now, kind of a third, but it's just like navigating what's going to come next and trying to sneak some traveling in here and there. So I'm excited for you guys to experience me and Jordan going to San Diego, which is coming
Yeah.
up soon. So really just those pieces. And I think just in addition to that, you guys know it's always a roller coaster when it comes to my love life. So I'm also just navigating, deciding if I want to continue to date in the Houston market or not, and what it does or doesn't have to offer for me. So
Guys, y'all are out here in Houston stressing me out because you're stressing her out, and now she's about to move because she doesn't have time, so
I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm not committed to a move yet just because I don't know that I have all the energy for it. A part of me feels like Jordan brought me out here and is going to leave me before I leave, but
no, I'm
I'm
not
trying
leaving.
not to think like that.
No, I'm
But
not leaving.
I
I
think it
can't.
was possibly, your man's asked me where I'm thinking about going next, as if I said I was going somewhere next, and then alluding to you guys going somewhere. So
You're not
if
going
you leave me,
My
then
goal actually is to get one of my other friends to move to Houston, and she said it's been on her heart heavy, so
what?
potentially she'll be coming, and then my brother texted me, a couple of days ago and was like, he's thinking about moving to Houston possibly, so
Which brother?
Jefferson.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if Kenny was going to make the jump because then he could really be
We
active.
can have Kenny a resident on the pod.
Yeah, but okay.
Not after the way Kenny acted up on the pod. And
He was
people
a
do want
fan
to see Kenny
favorite.
back. They want to
Yeah.
see Kenny back and they have questions for Kenny, so
Yeah. For sure. But yeah, I think that that would be cool. I'm not opposed to doing the Houston thing for a little bit longer if need be, but I'm really just navigating life and trying to maintain low key, trying to keep my mental stable and trying to be healthy. All the typical things. So what
all
I've been doing.
yeah, I just think that I feel like navigating in general in navigating like the dating world in general is hard right now, but then especially in like a city like Houston, because I think Houston has a reputation of being like hot girl, hot boy city. And so from what I see on TikTok and stuff, and just what I've heard from other like single people, so I think it's hard, especially to navigate the dating world in Houston.
Girl, yes, it is. And I'm just gonna take it day by day because sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I want to be single until otherwise noted because, you know. So it's a process, needless to say. It's a process. It's a process, but that is our intro to basically letting you guys know we might be revamping the dating segment. I was like borderline off the market for a moment. So I feel like we shut that down last time before the end of our like season one. So as
Season
it sounds,
2, I think we say if you want I think we make this a thing possibly, if you wanna take her on a date, I will vet it. I will vet, you. So DM cousin to cousin pod, okay? Or send us somebody that you wanna nominate to take her on a date.
I
And
think that's cool. And they can DM us on any social media platform, whether it be like TikTok, Instagram. Well, we are only on TikTok and Instagram.
yeah,
So yeah, you guys
YouTube, but you can't DM on YouTube, but
yes, or if you guys have one of our personal Instagrams, you could
yeah.
also reach out that way. Like maybe you specifically know Jordan and don't know me, so you just reach out to her. whatever the case. I actually don't want you guys to reach out to me. I
Yeah,
want you guys to
you
just
gotta come through
record
me,
it.
and then I will
So
decide.
we can
I
go
will
from
decide.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody DM me. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll decide, I'll figure out, and then we'll
And
recap.
I want it to kind of be a blind type of
Yeah,
situation. I mean, obviously, the person's probably going to know what I look like, but I think from my perspective, I want it to be a blind situation because a lot of my friends tell me that I have a type, quote unquote. So I don't want to necessarily stay shackled in my type or
I might
only
say
go off
cuckoo.
of that. So, which I actually don't think I have a type, but a lot of people tell me that I have a type. So I'm just going to let it be. I'm just going to let it be. But me
Yeah,
personally, I don't think I
I'll
have
vet
one.
it and see. I don't know how tough I need to be, that's the thing. Because if you
I mean,
know
at this
me, you know I'm
point,
not letting nothing slide, so
I mean, I'm knocking on 30. We're talking husband. I think it's okay to be tough
yeah,
because
gotta
it's
be.
just like,
Yeah, gotta be.
yeah,
So,
it's giving.
hit me in the DMs for her with your we need like a they gotta answer some kind of question.
Oh, we
Like,
should just create a questionnaire. It
okay,
is,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll create a
and
little
that will be
question.
what you send out to them or
Yeah, and then I'll be
whatever.
like, "Okay, fill this out," and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And then we'll bring you guys along on this journey, and she can
Yeah,
recap.
maybe I'll take a selfie with everybody that you guys have sent me on a date with, and we can share it exclusively on Patreon. I think that would be entertaining
Yes,
too to see if your nomination made it to a date. That would actually be,
perfect.
we're brainstorming on here. I like
Yeah,
it.
now we're cooking
Yeah.
with grease. I love it.
Cooking with grease is crazy.
I
But
almost
yes,
said cooking with Crisco, but I was like, I didn't wanna go there. But, yeah, I love it. So, I'm excited for that. I also think, like, just to touch on some of the things that are going on right now, in pop culture and just, like, the world is did anyone see the announcement for baby number 3? I think that's crazy because people feel like she just had baby number 2, but yeah, if y'all didn't see at the
yeah.
Met Gala, Rihanna showed up with that bump and let everyone know she's expecting baby number 3.
No, I was seeing like previous things saying like, oh, it's your, but there was no picture proof, right? But like people were saying chatter about her being pregnant, which honestly I'm happy for her. It seems like her and ASAP are really doing their thing. I think a part of
Yeah.
it is like at the end of the day, Rihanna is a billionaire. And so if she wants to pop out a baby every year for the next 5, like, I'm for it. I think it's cool. And she's 37. So it's kind of like she started having her baby. Not that she's old, but it's like
Yeah.
she's probably also just thinking that way too. Like, okay, let me get this out of the way. Like I want X amount of kids. But I think it's cool.
But I also think too, like, because I was kinda reading some of the comments and people are saying, like, mad respect to her for kinda letting people know, like, just because you're in your 30s doesn't mean it's too late. Like, I think there's this
Mhm.
notion that, like, once a woman's in her 30s, she's past her prime and she's this, she's that, and it's like, you could still have your 3rd kid at 37, you could have your 1st kid at 37, like, it just depends on you and, like, what you wanna do, so pretty cool.
No, for sure. It's cool. I was listening to someone and they were talking about how it's between like ASAP and Russell. And they were like, at this point, they're just breathing on their women and getting them pregnant.
Literally, yeah.
Laughing because Sierra kind of goes through a similar, or I know Russell's currently asking for baby number 5. So, I mean,
5 is crazy.
yeah.
5 is crazy.
But if it works for them, I mean, why not? I think that's
Yeah.
cool.
I mean,
So,
they got the coins for it, so
that part, yeah.
might as well. What, what shows have you been watching lately, if any, that are,
Show
like, new? I will say that I'll go after you. Okay.
No, no, you can go. I mean, I would have to actually like look and see, but right now I feel like I just watched first of all, I really don't have a lot of time to watch shows, but I did watch Paradise and I thought that Paradise 8, like it was a really good show. I had multiple people recommend to me to watch it and a few nights I like started watching it and I was like, oh, I kept falling asleep. But then once I actually locked in on it, I was like, oh, this show is really good. And now I'm excited for season two. I've had people recommend to me to watch White Lotus.
Yeah, I've heard a
I
lot of
got
people like
like
that.
4 episodes in and I'm not sold. I don't want no flack for that because a lot of people keep telling me it's such a great show, but
Yeah.
I think you have to match the sense of humor of the show you're watching. And The White Lotus is kind of, I think
It's
it
like a
misses the
dry
mark.
humor, right? I don't
It
know.
is dry, a little
I saw the
dark.
first season-ish, but I didn't finish it either.
Yeah, I don't know if it matches my level of satire that I like. So there's that. I'm always gonna advocate for Abbott Elementary. I think like season 4 just wrapped not too long ago. So I watched that. And I also think I'm going to get a little bit sometimes I'd be embarrassed to share the shows I'd be watching in my downtime because I don't want to smoke, but I'm still watching All American.
Oh
I'm
my
still
gosh,
watching. No, I'm
I
still
can't
watching
watch
All
it
American.
anymore.
It's a whole new cast except for a few, and they still let the
Is
regulars come
Coop still
back.
on there?
Coop is still there.
Coop's still holding it down?
Coop is in law school, so
I can't. That is hilarious.
no, it's so good. I can't stop. It's a train wreck. I can't stop watching it. I'm actually gonna watch it tonight. So a new episode. The season finale came out like
I
yesterday.
just can't take it serious anymore. It's like it was okay, and then it just took a turn for like horrible acting. Like I
No,
can't do
you
it.
should. It's season 7, I think. I think we're on season 7.
7 is so many.
But I'm kind of that person. Like once I watch a show, I like it, no matter how bad it keeps getting. Like The Shy is about to come back, and I think BMF. So those are other shows that I'm like invested in, and even if it gets bad, like they've killed my favorite characters on The Shy, I'm still about to watch it.
Yeah, I just like start stuff and I don't finish it because I'm always
Mm,
traveling. So then I'll just be like, oh, I'm just too far.
too drained. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh well, I'm like missing out now, and I've seen on social media what happens or whatever. So,
The
but
spoilers.
yeah, the spoilers. But I would say right now I'm liking The Residents. It's like
Okay.
entertaining me for sure because it's like a little bit of a mystery, but it's funny at the same time. So I'm enjoying it. It's like a good little lighthearted show.
For sure. And I like that they have Beth from This Is Us in it. I really like
Yeah.
her just as
I
an actress. I started it. I haven't finished. Did you finish The Residence or no?
no, I haven't finished it.
Okay. Yeah, I still haven't finished it either, but
I like it
I
though.
made it to like episode 4 or something. But I'm like, these people are really playing Miss Cup or whatever her name is. They are
Right.
playing her face
And
so
don't
bad.
play with her because she's on it.
She's
It's
on it. But I do like that one. I don't know. She's not a prosecutor, but she's like the governor or whatever,
oh,
like
that's like
on the
sitting there.
panel.
Yeah, I see.
Yes, the blonde lady that just be going off on
Yeah.
everything. I do like her, so she's funny.
But
But
yeah, if y'all have any show recommendations, let us know. Like,
okay.
what should we be watching?
No, definitely let us know. Is The Residence the only show you're watching or keeping up?
No, I was watching that one. What's it called? You told me about it, where they're like in a house together and they're trying to like get out.
Oh, like Gotta Get Out or
Gotta get
something?
out. I was like, I was trying to watch that, but it's just kind of getting repetitive a little bit. So, but
No, I get that.
I haven't gone too far into it, but
I had somebody tell me to watch Battle Camp or something. It's on Netflix and it's all of the Netflix like people basically going against each other trying to win money or they're on separate teams and it's kind of like it's obviously a game show but it's like
yeah.
Survivor but for people who are on like Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, like
Oh,
they're
okay.
all coming together like the mole different Netflix shows are coming together. That's what I've heard at least. I have not watched it but I might tap into it over the weekend potentially.
Let's see what's going on. Yeah. That sounds
Yes.
like a good one. Like that sounds like something up my alley because I'm more of like a reality TV show person. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, also in a pop culture update, we should bring them with us when we go to Breezy Bowl.
Oh, yes.
We're
No,
going
we
to Breezy
definitely
Bowl,
should.
guys.
I think that's Patreon energy for sure. The vlog that we create, and it'll also be like, guest starring one of our fave,
Yeah.
like honorary cousins, basically. So
She's
I
basically
think
the honorary
that
cousin.
would be an awesome addition. But just on the tip of music, TV, and all of that, have you had a chance to watch Sinners? I know we were talking about it, but have you gone to see it?
No, I haven't. I've been in the trenches for like 3 weeks now.
I
With work.
know. Okay, well then I'm gonna save the
Yeah,
sinner
same.
chatter about it, but I do think our next episode we should do a little debrief before like nobody's really talking about it anymore because I actually saw it twice. I'm not gonna lie,
Okay.
and I'm looking to debrief it.
Yeah,
I'm
I need
looking
to
to
see
track
it.
some theories about what happened, what they were talking about, hidden messages. So
Okay,
let's put it
yeah.
on the
Well,
radar.
it's on my list of things to do. So I want to see it. I'm getting pressed to see it also. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
honestly, the good thing, I mean, I know when you go see it, like you kind of obviously know what it's about. And on social media, it's kind of hard to like avoid
yeah,
it now, which is super annoying. But I went into it with no really knowledge of what the movie was even about. So that was interesting too. And I think going forward, I'm not going to be a preview watcher. I think I'm just going to go into it
yes,
like, oh, this
agree.
is out, cool, because I didn't even know what was going to happen or where it was placed or anything. So
Okay, cool. Oh, not my phone ringing, guys. Sorry. um, yeah. So, any other pop culture updates? I feel like I'm like kind of out the loop, but those are like the
yeah.
major things I feel like I've seen recently. So,
Yeah, I think recent wise for sure. Like obviously it's May, so we don't have to take it as far back as talking about some of the major turning events that have happened. Or I mean, I know we shouted out Breezy for doing the Breezy Bowl, but we could also just shout out Kendrick and SZA for just having back to back sold out shows on their tour that they're currently on. I think that's pretty
yeah,
dope that just the two of them are selling out. I think I saw a stat that Kendrick made like 9 million off one show. So I mean, that's pretty dope.
yeah,
And shout out to them for their tour. And I think that's cool. I wish that SZA could pop up at Breezy Bowl,
that would be the best.
but I don't see that being a thing.
I would love
Yeah, I definitely think that would be cool.
to. Yeah, I also feel like we were talking about Janae possibly popping up at ours because she's gonna be at some, but she won't be at ours yet. But that would be cool.
Yet because I did see a new flyer that, and I don't know if it was the flyer just because she's joined the tour but only for certain dates, but it just
Yeah,
said
but
all of them. It said like Janae, Summer, Bryson, and Chris Brown. So it's like, is she just officially on for all the dates now and it's gonna be her and Summer?
that would
Um,
be
I
amazing.
wonder if that's a thing, but I also wonder like, does that mean less time with Chris Brown the more openers he has? Like,
I don't know. He's a performer. He's gonna really go hard. I feel like that's what he does. Like he performs. And honestly, middle school me can't wait. So
oh, I can't wait. I've been dying to see Chris Brown in person for my whole life.
same.
So this is a great opportunity, whether I'm, old or not. I'm excited because obviously he's going to be showcasing all of his art. It's not like it's just one album that dropped and he does a couple of his songs here and there. I'm under the impression he's starting from the beginning to
I
where he's
pray.
at now. Like, take us in a time warp of the past 20 years, and I'm cool with it.
I
So
pray. Yeah, that would be great.
he better. I think we'll have a better idea. I don't know when his first show is for the tour, but I'm gonna be like
It already
peeping.
happened, I think.
Oh, did it? Because oh yeah, I did see something about them taking pictures. Because I'm like, maybe that will tell us the set list, or we'll have an
Yeah.
idea
By the
of
time it
what.
gets to us, we'll have an idea. I feel like
Yeah, for
of
sure.
what.
For sure. And so I think we also just take a minute to talk about the direction we want to start taking the pod in so people that do listen can kind of know what's to come or where we see it taking it.
Yeah, for sure. I know I kinda mentioned we're gonna have, like, guests that are gonna join, which will be cool because you'll get to see their face and, like, it'll be fun, and for those of you who work from home, it's like another Teams call or a Zoom, but yeah, we're excited for that. We've got some fun people in the pipeline, some things that we think you'll find interesting. We are going to do a fitness series. So, wellness is still a big part of who we want to be as we get older and just preserving like our bodies and trying to work on our mental health and all that stuff. So, we're going to do a fitness kind of journey with you guys where we're going to go to different classes and we're going to kind of tell you guys how they go. So, we'll bring you along for that. We're going to have some people join us and talk about fitness. But yeah, basically we have several topics, and I'll let you kind of touch on some of them too. But like we have several topics that we're gonna have a guest for, and then you'll still kind of get your usual hearing from us. But we also want to know from you guys too, like what do you want to hear? What do you want to hear from us, and what do you want to hear us talk about?
Yes, for sure. And kind of, yeah, obviously, as you said, the fitness piece, but just health and wellness as a whole is kind of the direction we're hoping to take this podcast to. So it's definitely kind of perceived as a positive conversation that's happening. Hopefully, it can be informative to some perspective. Like, obviously, we're not like wellness influencers or doctors or anything like that, but we're just telling you guys what we're doing that works for us. And I think there's also going to be another layer of component of just like beauty and natural products talk when it comes to whether it be like your hair, your makeup, your skin care, nails, just like the whole nine of that piece, which I think in most ways can anyone would be able to kind of relate to it. But I'm excited to see that piece and the guests that we have lined up for that portion of our pod too, because I think it will be really informative. I'm happy to collaborate with some of the people that are on our list of just different people navigating and being able to speak on that. And yeah, then I think you'll also just get the regular dose of our cousinship too.
Yeah, and I also want to say we are going to have like some of these people are business owners or just different things like that. So you also get a touch of that too, which is cool because a lot of the people that follow us are entrepreneurs or they are interested in entrepreneurship. So a really good mix and a fun mix of people. So we're really excited.
Yes.
And before we wrap up, I have a question that I'm going to start asking like some off the wall questions. So my question is um if you found out that your man could do the splits, would you still be with him? Or like what would your reaction be if you found out your man could hit the splits?
I mean, I know it's just super general, but I'm so curious. Like, is he hitting the splits like this
Does it
split?
matter whether it's a middle or a front split?
Because what if he's just flexible? I mean, it's a red flag if he's that flexible. Possibly.
You told me it's a red flag.
I think it depends on the man. I think it depends on the man. I'm not ready to call it a red flag, and I don't know if that's strange. But it could just mean that he's flexible. Or is it like, okay, am I missing the piece that there's a common denominator that men
I
are
don't
not that
know.
flexible and it's not something because I can't do the splits.
I
So
can't do the splits either, so it's
I
like,
guess I would be looking at my
but
man and just like what's making you bust it like
and
that?
it's like, are you hitting the splits or
That's
like
what I'm saying. Like,
no?
is it like this, you're stretching, or is it like you're literally
But also, like, why are you stretching it and doing a split at the same time? Why are you
I
doing that at the same time?
to be determined, I think, when it comes to that piece.
So
I
that
think
will be on the questionnaire. Can you hit the splits?
I don't need it to be on the questionnaire. I don't need it to be on the questionnaire, but would it be a deal breaker for me? I'm not ready to say all that, but I'm like, he can teach me how he was able to hit the splits.
Him teaching you
And
how to
then from there, it would tell me if
see.
it needs to be a red flag or not, you know? Like, oh, because what if he's like, oh, well, I was in gymnastics for the first 20 years of my life and now it's just natural. Or what if he does yoga every day?
He's a
Like, I'm not
yogi?
mad at a man that does yoga. Like, that's not,
You're interested in a yogi?
I wouldn't be opposed. I need to broaden my horizons anyway. So if you do yoga, you're gonna put me on to doing yoga, then I'm not ruling it out.
Okay.
I'm not ruling it out. But I did forget to mention, like, on our updates that for those of you guys that do know, I realize some people actually don't even know who she is, which no shade at all. But I'm so happy because I got to meet B Simone this weekend and it was like so unexpected. Like I follow B Simone. I like to listen and tap into her pod and I was always trying to go to one of her comedy shows, but it's like she's definitely canceled. The one when she was supposed to come to Houston, then she went to my hometown and I was not living there, but my friend met her and I was like, oh my gosh, you have to tell her that she needs to meet me. Because a lot of people just say like we have a lot of similarities. So I am fond of B Simone. And I ended up, it was just like heavy on my heart to find a church home out here in Houston, which I've been on that journey for since I've been living in Houston. But sometimes you go to church and it just don't hit the same, or you just don't really know, like, yeah, I'm here and that's cool, but I like to actually feel it. So I end up going to Pastor Keon's church, and it was actually right after like Cry Out Con. So that was just like a giant event that was held just to kind of like come together and worship for the most part. But basically, I didn't go to that event, but I went to a service the day after the event, and B Simone was there. And so that was really cool because after church, I felt like I like saw her while I was in service, but I was like, okay, I'm going to just go up to her after church. And I did. We got to take a selfie together. I wish I could post it with you guys, but got to meet her and that was just a really inspiring moment. And she told me to keep going with the pod, and there's not really a market for cousins out here podding and doing what Jordan and I are doing. So it was just really inspiring to have those words of positive energy come from someone who's in a space where we would like strive to get to or want to, eventually make it to or surpass that level when it comes to our pod. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's a good update to share, for sure.
Yes.
Well, you guys, I think that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in with us. You survived another episode of Cousin to Cousin. Make sure you're following us on all of our platforms, and we will see you in our next episode.
Thank you. Bye.